As night fell over Jerusalem, the city was alive with pilgrims preparing for the Passover. Lamps flickered in homes. Voices echoed through narrow streets. But in an upper room, away from the noise, something eternal was unfolding. Jesus sat at the table with his 12 disciples. He knew this would be the last time he would eat with them before his suffering began. Every look, every word, every moment carried the weight of destiny. He rose from the table. Quietly, without explanation, he removed his outer garment, wrapped a towel around his waist, and poured water into a basin. The disciples watched in confusion as their teacher, their Lord, knelt before them. One by one, he washed their feet dusty from long roads, feet that had followed him across Galilee, feet that would soon run away in fear. When he came to Peter, Peter protested, "Lord, are you going to wash my feet?" Jesus replied gently, "You do not understand now what I am doing, but later you will understand." And with that, the King of Heaven performed the work of a servant, teaching them that true greatness is found in humility. After returning to the table, Jesus took bread into his hands. He gave thanks. He broke it. "This is my body, which is given for you. Do this in remembrance of me." Then he took the cup. "This cup is the new covenant in my blood, which is poured out for you." The disciples listened, but the meaning had not yet taken root in their hearts. Then Jesus spoke words that pierced the room. "One of you will betray me." Shock spread across their faces. "Is it I, Lord?" they asked one by one. Even Judas asked the same question. Jesus answered softly, "You have said so." And the night grew darker. After the supper, Jesus led them out of the city, across the Kidron Valley, to a place he often went to pray, the Garden of Gethsemane. The moon hung low in the sky. The air was heavy with sorrow. Jesus told his disciples, "Sit here while I pray." He took Peter, James, and John deeper into the garden. And then he began to tremble. "My soul is overwhelmed with sorrow, even to death," he said. "Stay here and keep watch with me." He moved a little farther, fell to the ground, and prayed, "Father, if it is possible, let this cup pass from me. Yet not as I will, but as you will." This was not fear of death. This was the weight of sin, the agony of separation, the burden of the world's guilt pressing upon his soul. 3 times he returned to the disciples. 3 times he found them sleeping, and each time his loneliness deepened. Then, through the darkness, voices approached. Torches burned. Swords gleamed. Judas stepped forward and kissed him. The betrayal was complete. Jesus was seized, bound, and led away, and the disciples fled into the night. Jesus was taken first to the high priest. False witnesses were brought forward. Lies were spoken. Truth was rejected. They blindfolded him. They struck him. They mocked him. "Prophesy. Who hit you?" Before dawn, they led him to the Roman governor, Pontius Pilate. Pilate questioned him, "Are you the king of the Jews?" Jesus replied, "My kingdom is not of this world." Pilate found no fault in him. Yet outside the crowd grew louder. "Crucify him." Pilate offered to release Jesus, But the people chose Barabbas, a murderer. Pilate washed his hands, and Jesus was sentenced to death. They scourged him. A romang whip tore into his flesh. Blood flowed freely. His body weakened. They placed a purple robe on him, pressed a crown of thorns into his head. "Hail, King of the Jews!" they mocked. Then they led him away. They laid the cross upon his shoulders. Heavy, rough, unforgiving. Step by step, Jesus walked toward Golgotha. He fell beneath its weight. A man named Simon was forced to carry it for him. Women wept along the road. Jesus turned to them and said, "Do not weep for me, but for yourselves and your children." At Golgotha they nailed him to the cross. The hammer struck iron against flesh. The cross was lifted. Jesus hung between heaven and earth. The sky darkened. The sun refused to shine. From the cross, Jesus spoke 7 times. Words of forgiveness, words of salvation, words of surrender. My God, why have you forsaken me?" Then, "It is finished." He bowed his head and gave up his spirit. The earth shook violently. Rocks split open. The veil of the temple tore in two. A Roman centurion stood in awe. Surely, this man was the Son of God. His body was taken down from the cross, placed in the arms of his mother, wrapped in linen, laid in a borrowed tomb. A stone was rolled into place, and silence fell. But death could not hold him. On the 3rd day before dawn, the earth trembled once more. An angel descended. The stone rolled away. The tomb was empty. "He is not here," the angel said. "He has risen, just as he said." Jesus appeared alive. The scars remained. Proof of love. Proof of victory. This is the passion. This is the sacrifice. This is the victory of Christ. And because he lives, we have hope.